Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel and to my Free Food February vlogs. So in the theme of Free Food February, I am going to make a lovely recipe inspired by Spicentice and the kit that they sent me out to try. So I'm going to make this chicken katsu curry that serves 4. So I'm going to stick some in the freezer. I'll show you what ingredients we need and also how I'm going to make it more Slimming World friendly than it actually already is, even though it is quite Slimming World friendly. And it says Japanese inspired katsu curry, and this is the kit. The kit itself is entirely sin free. It just contains herbs. So the herbs that's got in it is coriander, cumin, onion, salt, chilli, fenugreek, garlic, ginger, paprika, turmeric, cinnamon, black pepper, cloves, bay, cardamom and star anise. And obviously what it is it's a breaded chicken breast served with rice and a sweet curry sauce. So I think that looks really nice, and it's the first thing that caught my attention from the recipes, from the kits that they sent me. So I do have a discount code, which I'll say now in case I forget to say later. If you fancy trying this, I have a discount code. Enter DBF20 for 20% off. But let's see how this turns out. So what you need for the recipe is 4 chicken breasts, 2 medium onions, so we need 2 onions, 2 medium carrots, these are quite big carrots actually, but never mind, 3 cloves of garlic, I'm just going to use frozen, 1 large egg, 900ml of chicken stock, I'm just going to use the Knorr chicken stock pots which are free on the plan, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon sweetener or honey, so I've got some sweetener. Obviously for a teaspoon of honey that would be 1 cent, and across the 4 dishes it would be negligible, so that's up to you. 3 tablespoons of plain flour. That would be sins as well for 3 tablespoons of flour over the 4 dishes. But what I'm going to use it's to thicken the sauce. And I'm going to use this xanthan gum, which is free on the plan, and it's for thickening sauces. So I'm going to use that, and that will be free. And it says plus a little extra flour for dipping chicken breasts. So I have got 25 grams of plain flour, and that is 4.5 cents. So if I do decide to use that, it will be 1 cent per serving. So we'll see how we go, but that's for dipping and coating the chicken breasts. Then we need 100 grams of panko or wholemeal breadcrumbs. Now how I've decided to do it is to use 2 60-gram wholemeal bread rolls. So actually this will be 120 grams of breadcrumbs for 4 chicken breasts, and that will be half my Healthy Extra B or 3 sins. So that's how I'm going to use it, and that's why I had a slightly different breakfast this morning, not using my Healthy Extra B, because I thought I'd save half for this recipe and I can maybe have a hi-fi bar later on. So yeah, I'm going to use 2 bread rolls or 120 grams of breadcrumbs. So I'll I'll crumble all that up later on with my chopper. And then of course we need the low calorie cooking spray, which is your Fry Light, and the Spicentice Katsu curry spice sachet. So yeah, obviously I'm going to use this. And then we need the cooked white rice or jasmine rice to serve. So actually what I'm going to serve it with tonight is my potato and carrot chips. But yeah, of course it goes lovely with rice as well. So that, oh, and also what you'll need, sundry items, are a big frying pan, some cling film, and a rolling pin, and maybe some other things as we go along. So let's see. Right, so what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all the white bits and all the fat off the chicken. I'm going to peel and roughly chop my carrots and my onions, and I'll probably get my little chopper out, but I'll show you that once I've peeled everything. And what I've decided to do is deal with the bread first. I am dressed in leggings and a t-shirt, but I've just got my pyjama top on for a bit of warmth because it's a fluffy pyjama jumper. So what I've done with this bread, these 2 bread rolls, I've just weighed them and they're 107 grams, so that's absolutely fine. What I've decided to do was I got them out of the freezer last night, and I spoke to Andrew because he's the bread expert around here, and I said, will it work to make breadcrumbs in my chopper? And what Andrew said was, if you leave the bread out to become a bit stale, it will work better. So since this morning, I've had them out on a plate cut open like this, and they are a bit like noticeably drier. So I'm just going to tear them up into my chopper. Hopefully to make breadcrumbs. And as I say, this is 2 healthy extras here. So I'll use this to coat 4 chicken breasts, and it will be half your healthy extra, or 3 sins. Or if you can trace the panko breadcrumbs, then great, but I have heard they're hard to get hold of. I don't know if that might be a bit much actually, but we'll see if it will chop. So then we just pull that until we've got breadcrumbs. You could use your food processor if you've got one, or you could buy the ready-made ones, but then I'm not sure on the sins, so you'd have to check that out. But it does say panko breadcrumbs or wholemeal breadcrumbs, which is obviously Slimming World friendly. So I'm just chopping up the onion and carrot, and somebody asked on one of my previous videos what this chopper was like with carrots, and my answer is they need to be quite sort of finely chopped before you put them in, so don't put big pieces in like I would put half an onion in there without chopping it too much. But yeah, with the carrots you need the smaller pieces, and don't put a lot in at once, and it's absolutely fine. So what you're actually going to end up doing with this onion, carrot and garlic is blending the sauce. So that's why we're chopping it, and then we're going to fry it. Oh, that needs a bit more. So that is how it's chopped the carrot, so that's pretty good, pretty fine. So I'll just do the last one and then we'll see what the next step is. So I've got my large frying pan which has been sprayed with butter fry light, and I've got my 2 onions and 2 carrots in there. So I'm just going to put that in the frying pan. I'm going to turn it down to a medium heat. And then we need to fry them for 5 to 10 minutes. So I know I'm going to be a bit further away for this part, but I just don't want to move the camera again because I'm going to be at the frying pan for a while. So that's still frying off and I've had a quick clear up. So while that's frying up, I've cut off all the white bits and some of the excess bits off the chicken breasts, and I've wrapped them in cling film. I'm just going to give them a bit of a bash with a rolling pin. And that will mean they'll cook slightly quicker as well. And what I will do is, these were fresh chicken breasts, so I'm cooking them now. I'll eat one tonight and the rest will go in the freezer, and then I'll defrost them thoroughly and then reheat in the microwave, and just make sure it's fully heated through. But if you've got a family of 4, or you want to eat it over a couple of days, then that's absolutely perfect. Right, so just give the chicken breasts a good bash and then put them back on your plate. Just flatten them slightly. If there is a slight bit of thick bit, then just bash it out. So we'll put those back on there. And then I think we'll add the garlic. So to the pan of onions and carrots, we need to add 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of my diced garlic, my frozen garlic. I got this one from Morrison's online. So a teaspoon is roughly like a clove. So we'll stick a good bit of that in, a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Small teaspoons, that will do. So we'll leave that cooking for another couple of minutes. And then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Right, that's actually been simmering for probably nearer 15 minutes while I get ready for the next step. So I've added the 2 carrots, the 2 onions and the 2 cloves of garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. Then we need to stir in the flour. So if you wanted to use the flour, you would be using 3 tablespoons of plain flour. I'm just going to put a teaspoon of this in, this xanthan gum, and see how we get on. I don't think you need a lot. So we'll put a teaspoon of that in. I can always add a bit more if I need to. And then we need the soy sauce. So, where's it gone? 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So we'll stick that in. It always takes ages to come out. And this is a dessert spoon, so I'll actually add bit more for good measure. So that's the soy sauce. 1 teaspoon of sweetener. We'll put that in. You could use the sugar if you wanted to. It's gone off now because I'm messing. Then we need to add the 900 ml of chicken stock. So I've just used 2 chicken stock cubes and 900 ml of boiling water. I'll just pour that in. We'll get the excess stock out of the bottom. And then we need to add the Katsu curry powder sachet. So we'll get this added in. So once again, it's Katsu curry, and this is what it should look like. So we'll see how close we get. I'll scatter that in. Ooh, get that smell straight away. Give that a stir. Don't throw your instructions away like I was just about to. And then we need to bring that to the boil. So I'll turn it up. And I'll have another little clear up, I think. So we've got the sauce boiling. Give it a good stir. And then we need to reduce the heat and let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. And we also need to prepare the chicken, so I'll do that next. Right, so the sauce is simmering away and thickening nicely. So while that is simmering, I've got my chicken breasts and we're going to breadcrumb them. So I've got my 25 grams of flour, I've got a beaten egg, and I've got a quarter of my breadcrumb mix, because obviously being on Slimming World, I want to make sure that the breadcrumbs are equal of each chicken breast so that I can say it's half my Healthy Extra B. So actually I probably want that on a plate. So if you use the flour, which I don't think everybody does, but if you do, it will be 4.5 sins. So I think I'll just call it a sin per portion. So we need to grab a chicken breast that's obviously been flattened, coat it in the flour, then in the egg, and then into the breadcrumbs. And it is actually quite a lot of breadcrumbs. So try and get the breadcrumbs to stick to it. Got a feeling I'm going to enjoy this. And then you want to place your chicken breast on a fry lighted tray, which I'll show you at the end. So we will do 4 chicken breasts just like that. Right, so here's my chicken breasts that have been dipped in the flour, beaten egg and breadcrumbs. So that will be, as you can see, so excuse the mess, I'm going to clear up, but I just want to get these in the oven. I've hardly used half of the flour. So I'm going to say they're half a sin each for the flour. And for the breadcrumbs, it would be 3 sins or half your Healthy Extra B. And these need to be cooked at 180 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes or until the chicken is done and golden brown. And now we'll check in on the sauce. So I'll get these in the oven and go back to cooking the sauce. So the sauce has been simmering for a good 15 to 20 minutes, and what it says is blend to a smooth consistency. You can see that it's thickened really, really well. It's a good consistency for me for a curry. So I do think that xanthan gum has done its job. You get the smell. So I've got my stick blender ready. The heat's off. And I'm just going to blend it. think that's nicely blended. Put that down a second and I'm going to give it a taste. That is really nice and thick. Oh, that is really, really nice. It's got a kick to it. Yeah, it's like a thick vegetable soup. Yeah, that tastes lovely. It is spicy, but it's nice. So I'm just going to, think I might blend it a little bit more, and then I'm going to put it in the jug and leave it to one side while the chicken's cooking. So that's my chicken out of the oven. It's been in a good 25, maybe 30 minutes, and I've just cut it to make sure it was done, and it's done, and the breadcrumbs have turned golden brown. I've got plenty of sauce in a big jug, so I'm going to make 4 portions of this now, and put some in the freezer, and also have it for my tea tonight. And here is the finished dish. Now granted, I haven't presented it very well because I've just poured the sauce over, but I've sliced the chicken breast that's been breadcrumbed. I've got some stir fry veg and some potato and carrot chips. So that is half a tin for the flour and plus half my healthy extra B, and everything else is free on the plan, speedy food. Lots of protein from the chicken, and this is what it's meant to look like. And then I've got 3 more portions to go in the freezer, and that will freeze absolutely fine, defrost fine. So there you go, there is my Spicentice chicken katsu curry. Check out their website for other things that they do, and don't forget that discount code DBF20 for 20% off your order. Thanks for watching.